Hey, hey!
Olá!
Today we're going to be sharing our first impressions for the board game Café.
Café is a card layering game for 1 to 4 players published in 2020 by Pythagoras. The game was developed by David Santos Mendes, design is by Costa and Rôla, and features artwork by Marina Costa. In this game, each player runs a company during the Belle Époque and simulates the flow of the coffee beans by producing coffee, drying it, roasting it, and finally either delivering it to the most exquisite coffee shops or storing it at their own personal warehouse. We have the second edition of Café, and inside the box you will find 4 company cards, one for Angola, one for Brazil, one for São Tomé and Príncipe, and one for Timor. 4 starting cards, one for each company, 48 unique plan cards, 8 espresso cards, these are an expansion that come included with this edition of the game, 140 small cubes, 35 in each color, yellow, brown, green and red, representing 4 different origins of coffee, 4 big cubes to act as action counters, 1 master token, and the rulebook in Portuguese and in English.
We set up the game with each player taking a company card and its associated initial card. Each player will place a white cube on the action points table at number 1. Each player then takes 1 cube of each color, placing it below the matching coffee bean on the company card in an area known as the warehouse. Shuffle the plan cards and leave the deck face down near the cube piles. Depending on the number of players, you might need to reduce the number of cards according to the rulebook. For our 2-player example, we will reduce the total by 16 cards, and this is done by taking out all of the 8 cards with a star symbol on the back, and an additional 8 cards chosen at random. At the start of each round, draw 3 plan cards from the deck and place them face up on the table. In clockwise order, each player can choose a plan card. The chosen plan card is immediately replaced so that every player has 3 to choose from. The round master will be the last one to choose one of the 3 cards, with the remaining 2 cards going into the discard pile. If a plan card has a coffee cup icon, then the player must pay 1 cube from their warehouse in order to take it, otherwise the card is free. The cost can, however, be avoided should there be 2 visible ship icons in their business area. Each player then adds their chosen card into their business area in front of them, being sure to follow some card placement rules, such as every new card must always cover 2, 3, or 4 of the visible grid spaces from the business area. After playing a card into the business area, players will perform between 1 and 8 actions, according to the number of visible coffee cups in their business area. There are 4 possible actions as follows. With the produce action, take a cube from the general supply to match the color of the bean square you're producing. The square must be empty and only 1 cube per square is allowed. If there is a cluster of orthogonally adjacent bean squares, regardless of the color, then these will all produce with a single action point. The dry action takes all the cubes from 1 or more bean squares of the same color and places them on an empty dry square. Orthogonally adjacent dry squares can also be used to dry another set of cubes. To roast beans, take all the cubes of 1 color from 1 or more dry squares and join them on the roast square. If there are any orthogonally adjacent roast squares, these can also be used in the same action to roast another set of cubes. And finally, the deliver action, where you can move all of the cubes from the roast squares and deliver them to 1 or more coffee shops in your business area or to the warehouse. The game ends after all players have completed the 8th and final round. Players will earn victory points for their fully supplied coffee shops and for any cubes stored in their warehouse. For the warehouse scoring, the color with the fewest cubes will earn 2 victory points per cube, and the color with the second fewest will earn 1 victory point per cube. The player with the most points is the winner.
I really like Café.
Me too. It's really cool. Really cool.
The art style is really nice. I like it.
I'm not, I think, massively...
On the art?
Yeah, because I think there isn't that much art. It's quite minimal.
It is minimal, but
Like the
The
box art
box.
is art, and the box art is art.
Is art and
The box art is nice and everything, but I think on the cards it's just like okay.
I like it because it resonates with me
Mm.
because I'm Portuguese. And there's the Portuguese coffee shops and
Yeah, that's a nice detail.
coffee is really part of our culture, as this game shows, and I really resonate with the art style. The components are nice. I know that you would prefer, instead of cubes,
Yeah, we mentioned this
little
before.
coffee beans or something. I'm okay with the cubes.
I'm okay with the cubes. It would have been cool if they were like little beans or something. But yeah, that would have probably increased the cost of the game.
Yes.
And production.
Because this is a really affordable game.
Yeah. It's a nice small box game and the components are fine. They do their job.
Yeah. The cards are big and nice.
Yeah, definitely for playing, because each card is a 2x3 grid.
Yeah.
And it's good.
And you put the cubes on top, you put the coffee beans on top, regardless of which stage of the process it is. I like it doesn't sprawl too much on the table.
Yeah, I think that's because of how the game forces you to cover a certain number of squares in your
from 2, which is interesting.
Yes, and that makes for a really nice tight gameplay with you having to think about what you might be willing to sacrifice to maybe later on help build your production of coffee.
And that's the right word, it's sacrifice, because there's a lot of thinking in this game. You have your strategy. Obviously, you have to play with what you get from the markets, but you have your strategy. You want to have the grinders together, the cups together, the drying icons together, so to optimize
something I didn't do.
Yeah, but I think the first time that we play, it's always like that.
Yeah.
From this point on, we already had the feel of the game, so we are going to be more mindful of these little things that we need to keep an eye on to try to do in a game. So I think we are going to, every time that we play, we are going to improve more and more.
Definitely, like 3/4 of the way into this game, I realized I messed up maybe the placement of my drying areas, my drying, roasting. Well, it's only those two, yeah. I had a really big production zone when we played, but because I had the drying squares and roasting squares
separated.
I couldn't do I couldn't churn through the coffee to produce it quicker.
Yeah.
And so really I had a bottleneck in my system because I ended up with quite a lot of cafes, which needed a delivery, and I just couldn't fit all the beans I had produced through my system.
Yeah. I think it's a really good game to introduce people to the hobby as well.
Yeah.
I think it's simple enough, but elaborate enough to keep gamers as well excited about the game.
It's like really, it's easy to get going with it, but it's quite thinky.
Yeah.
There's a lot to explore there with like trying to optimize and get the best engine going to.
Yeah, I think the first time that we play, it's going to always be an introductory version of the game. We are just having a feel of the game. And from now on, we are going to, and it's really quick. The game is really quick.
It wasn't many rounds, and definitely, I think they even mentioned it in the rulebook, or I'm thinking of another game. They said, play your first one with each person taking their turn with the actions.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely feel like when we play next time, I think we even started doing it this first game. We started taking our actions at the same time.
Yeah.
We don't have to watch over each other to know that we're not cheating or doing anything wrong. It's definitely a game, and that speeds it up a lot. Yeah. Because otherwise, if you're playing, it's up to 4 players?
4 players.
And you have to wait for every single person. Because it could end up that many of the players end up with 8 action points. And so that is what can increase the length of the game. But if you do the action stage at the same time, then it plays pretty quick, I think.
This is a tile layering game. We like it. That mechanism, we like it a lot. It's an engine builder. It's a resource management game, and it's a lot of game for such a small box.
Yeah,
I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, I was surprised by that. Really, I guess I didn't really
realize the depth of the game.
I didn't really know what the game was about too much going into it.
It's Café, coffee, and we like coffee.
And we love coffee.
So
I was really surprised by the engine building. Like it feels like an engine, but you have to.
Yeah.
The later rounds of the game, you'll hopefully have your system going in a smooth way.
Yeah, it's really thematic. You go through all the process steps to make coffee: the production, the drying, the roasting, and delivering. I like that we deliver not only to the cafes, but as well our warehouse.
Yeah, which is another thing I messed up.
We didn't know. We didn't.
I did know because I read the
We didn't know,
rules.
but we were not looking at that.
No, I knew. I realized I messed up. Yeah, and by that point, I couldn't do much about it.
When I started thinking about the warehouse was in later rounds, and I was more trying not to get into my warehouse more beans, more types of beans.
Yeah. So basically, to clarify, what I had messed up is when you score at the end of the game, you score for the beans in your warehouse only for 2 of the colors, and it's the ones with the lowest amount of beans. And very early on in the game, I was able to.
He got 2 ships.
I got 2
right
ships.
away.
So that meant every time I got a coffee cup card, which is basically increases your amount of actions you can take, they were free for me. So I didn't have to spend any beans from my warehouse.
I was spending them all from the beginning. But I literally spent all my warehouse coffee beans.
And that massively worked in your favor because I had all my beans. And then when I made a delivery of beans, because I had overproduced some, I gave them to the coffee shops that needed it. And then the surplus went to my warehouse, which meant at the end of the game, I had
the 4 types of coffee.
Yeah, all 4 colors of beans. One of them had like 5, one of them had 6. And 2 of the colors had 1.
Yeah.
So and they scored because I had that color.
I had like 4 in one and 5 in the other one.
Yeah.
And no more types, so I scored a lot in that.
Hey, Editor Christian here. So it turns out we actually made a further mistake in our explanation for the warehouse points, which we only realized when playing the game again during our board game advent calendar. So basically, even if you don't have a cube of that color, that will also count as having the fewest number. So 0 counts. I didn't realize because the next time I played, I thought I was being clever by just having 2 of the bean colors with cubes and the other 2 I got to 0. And it was only at the scoring at the end did I realize my mistake. Okay, Editor Christian out. Bye! So I definitely felt I messed up there, and that's something I'm going to consider next time we play is to not only try and make the engine as smooth as it can be in what's called the business area. This is where we're laying the cards, but also keep an eye on the warehouse and make sure I don't have beans of such a small quantity.
Yeah. This is a really good filler game. It's not a game to be the main star of a game night, but it's a good filler game, or if you don't have time for a proper board game. Not proper board game, because to me this is a really good and proper board game.
Yeah, they're all proper board games.
Yeah, but like a more meaty one.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be one that we will enjoy over a cup of coffee as a break. Maybe to board game breakfasts.
Café is part of Cinco Quinas collection from Pythagoras. Cinco Quinas means 5 corners, and this is the first one of the collection. I think there's going to be 5. Café is the first one. Then they released Lata, and I think it's sardines. And they just released Oliva, which is about the production of olives in Portugal and
So do you think?
export of olive oil, I think.
Yeah. So do you think all of the games are going to be about?
It's Portugal.
Portuguese
Portugal
production.
production of
Imagine one of them
things.
might be cork then.
Probably.
Future one could be cork.
Yeah. Café, sardines, olive oil.
And they're all the same size box, right?
Yes.
Is that part of
the collection? I think they are all the same size, which is really cool. Oh, it's here. The first Kina, the first corner. Yeah, it's a really nice game. I really like it. I really recommend it.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. I just want to check something quickly. Yeah, components are fine. The cards are fine, nice and big.
Oh, can I say something that I really find it cute? We watched a video. We have been really tired lately, and we watched a video to try to understand first the concept of the game. And we watched the video of Meeple of Liberty, a couple of Portuguese board gamers, and they had a video on how to play Café. And she said that the white cubes looked like
Sugar
cubes. Yeah. And I thought, yeah, it's true. I thought it was so cute.
Yeah, it's very fitting.
Yeah.
In that regard, it's very fitting.
Yeah.
I still would have liked the little cubes to have been beans. One day we could just get some coffee beans and play with those. But no, everything is fine. The insert is good enough for...
It works.
It works. How did the cubes come? Were they all in one bag? Well, because we supply these bags.
I think, yeah.
So that
we separated...
I can't remember.
In different bags. I think they came in this one, maybe.
And if they're all just dumped
because this is the more used one.
Yeah.
So it's probably...
But setup is very quick, and you just dump the cubes into a bowl.
Little bowls and...
Yeah, really nice game.
Yeah.
And our edition, I believe, is the second edition.
It is.
And it came included with an expansion they called Espresso, which had the extra cards inside. So we were a bit confused at first because we were following through the setup and there was some extra cards.
Yeah, before even realizing there's the expansion, I was already shuffling the cards and I was like, oops.
You have to get those cards out.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't
But it's easy to separate them because some have the stars.
And they had certain symbols in there.
Yeah, and the other ones have other extra symbols to... that differentiate them.
So I think depending where you get the game, I don't know if you would get a hold of the second edition or not. But if you do get try and get the second edition if you can, because it's got that expansion included. And our edition has the rulebook in Portuguese and English. So that was good.
Yeah.
But that would be dependent on your locale, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really nice game. I'm glad we got it.
Yeah, me too.
Nice tiny box. That is Café. So, thank you so much for watching. We've been Boarding and Beans.
You've been you.
Have a lovely day.
And happy gaming.
Yay! This is just so I know where to cut. Really good.
It's a really nice game. Okay.
I was just like, ooh. Can we go again? Sorry.
Yeah.
Whoa. Thought you got rid of us. Not just yet. As we sign out, we like to mention that we have a Discord server. So if you want to chat, you can join us on Discord.
We are on Blue Sky.
Blue Sky, Mastodon, TikTok. And if you haven't already, we'd really appreciate a like and subscribe. And...
Is it here or here?
I don't know. Wherever the subscribe is.
And the like as well.
Yeah. Thank you again so much for watching. Thanks again for watching, and bye.
Bye. Traffic.